In Chapter 51 of the Count of Monte Cristo, Valentine de Villefort, the villainous prosecutor's daughter, and Maximilien Morel, Monsieur Morel's son, have a secret meeting at a spot at the wall that separates the garden of the de Villefort estate from a vegetable garden that Maximilien has rented over in the next street. Through a gap in the wall, they discuss their love for one another, and Valentine slips her fingers between the planks for Maximilien to kiss. Their conversation reveals that Valentine's father has decided she will marry Franz. Villefort dislikes the Morel family because he thinks the elder Morel was a Bonapartist fanatic. Because Franz will be away for another year, Maximilien hopes that the situation will change so that he and Valentine can be together. Valentine's father ignores her, and her stepmother hates her, probably because she envies the wealth Valentine has inherited from her mother. Her stepmother has no wealth of her own, and her son, Edward, doesn't stand to inherit nearly as much as Valentine will get. Valentine's only solace in that house is the relationship she has with her grandfather, Nautier. The two are very close. Although a stroke has paralyzed him and he can't speak, the two have devised a way to communicate. Valentine and Maximilien's meeting is interrupted when Valentine is called into the house to meet a visitor, the Count of Monte Cristo. In Chapter 52 of the Count of Monte Cristo, Madame de Villefort introduces Valentine to the Count, who reminds them that he had briefly encountered them 2 years ago in Italy. Madame de Villefort remembers him as a doctor because he had just cured 2 people of illness, but he says he's just an amateur scientist. Valentine goes to tend to her grandfather, and Madame de Villefort engages the Count in a long conversation about poisons. She's particularly interested in a method that involves building up immunity to a poison by taking a slightly larger amount of it every day. The Count says he has used this method himself, so a dose of the poison that would kill most people would have little effect on him. She says he must be a great chemist because the elixir that he used to revive her son had been so effective. The Count explains that although 1 drop of the elixir can revive a person, 10 drops would be deadly. Madame de Villefort says the elixir seems to be much more effective as an antispasmodic than the medication that her doctor has given her, so the Count offers to give her some. He leaves, congratulating himself for planting a seed here. The next day, he sends a vial of the elixir to Madame de Villefort.